Alright, here I have a HQ lock sent to me kindly by Dr Hogmaster. Put a nice Sharpie line on it so we can see the sort of false sets we get. Here's our key. So we've got a pretty high lift up the front where the inner pin needs to go a bit higher. Pin 2 is the interactive one, so it goes all the way to the moon, and the inner one a little bit higher. This one's a bit lower, but the inner one still needs to go up, and the back two are quite low. Certainly just need a bit of a touch. Okay, key does work. I'm going to be using these two bones flags, and there's an multi-pick tension bar up here. I'm going to tension clockwise, and we're going to see if I can get this open in a reasonable time. All the difficulty on this one is in the inner key pin. So first off, we're going to get 2 because that's a standard. We're going to get 1, pin 1, 2, 3, set, pin 4, and pin 5. So that's the outers. Just give a little wiggle down on 4 and 5, just see if we can touch those in as yet. Yeah. Alright, that was pin 2. 1 is loose. Let's see if we can touch those back ones. That feels good. 5 was not set though. Might have some other things on the way. Let's see, that's number 1 freed up now. Oh, alright, there we go. That's that deeper false set that tells me all the inners are done. So now it's just an outer key pin stuck on an inner driver. Usually quite a bit easier to find, just sort of wiggle the flag on everything. And there we go. Open. Alright, that was not a terrible time. It really is the inner pins that are the hard ones to get on these things sometimes. It's much easier when the inner pin is lower rather than higher. Alright. So, the first time I tried to gut this thing, a shim would not go in and I couldn't push the core in. Something was getting stuck in with the key in there. I don't know what the problem was. But it wouldn't come out, even though it would turn. So I ripped the Bible cover off, and here it is, a mangled mess. And there was no reason it should not have come out, none at all. I thought maybe it had a retaining rod on these ones or something, don't know. But this is a piece of plastic from a packet of sliced cheese. and I cut it to size and it fits really well and actually holds in pretty good. So we can go through the Bible cover on this one. So one is a bit hard to get out. There we go, because it is a spool, but we should lock it back up. There we go. Now we can get the inner pin and the outer key pin. The front plate here just slightly fouls on that chamber, so that one's hard to get out, but otherwise got really long. You can see how much tension these springs are in. Very long. There's not a lot of height there underneath the drive on. So there we go. Pin 2, standard driver, inner pin. Come on, key pin. Spring, spool, inner key pin. Come on. You know what? We'll leave that there for the moment. Next one, spring. Spool, inner key pin, outer key pin. And finally, get a piece of plastic off. Spring, driver, inner key pin, outer key pin. And now it's just that last one. Come on. You know what? We're just going to unscrew it back because it doesn't want to come out of the way. All right, so screw here. Screw there. This piece comes off. So there's this little like brass slug at the back. That's actually important because if that piece isn't in, then the key can over insert like so, and it will not work. So you need it in, and it holds it in the right spot. So here's our core, here's our stubborn key pin. There we go. So yeah, shims can get in and get stuck on these ridges. Don't think that's what was happening. I'm really not sure why I didn't want to gut properly the first time, but here we go. So you can see they got this bit of warding that only starts right at the back. I don't know why they do them only at the back and not the whole way down. Maybe it's just to add strength to the key, presumably. And then you've got this ball bearing. The front here, that's for the interactive element. So pushes sprung there. You can see the little cap for that. That's the core. Level's nothing exciting. Other than it's a bit shiny. Brass. These are the caps removed. See my nice piece of plastic. Fits lovely. So that was convenient. Yeah, there's some of the 30 pack of cheese. There you go. All right. Let's zoom in so you can see we got like mushroom or torpedo key pins on 3, 4, and 5. Standard ones on 1 and 2. This bunch goes there. We've got spools, standard, spools, spools, spools. So most of the drivers are all the same. Obviously, springs are all the same. Stand on 2, otherwise it'll wobble all over the joint. And yeah, each of these key pins needs to be set just a little bit higher than the other. We chuck that in like so. That's how it would sit at rest. And then when it is, what's this, pin 3? in the core. It doesn't sit that much. It sits sort of flush-ish, a little bit higher. You can see that sits a little bit lower than the key pin. So when you need to push it up just that bit extra, then they sit flush. Yeah, it really helps having just the right kind of pick to be able to get to the inners without hitting the outers. There are a number of different things that work, but yeah, they're always the problem. The more you've got that are low or flat even, or where the inner pin sits lower, they're the easy ones. Where they sit higher, they're the harder ones. So it's had 3 of the harder ones. So the front one's easy because you can see what you're doing, but the back ones get a bit harder. And 2 can be tricky. All right, so that was a HQ lock. Thank you, Dr.